All right, let's talk about one of the trickiest parts of the ACT science section, the dreaded multi-chart question. But don't worry, today we're going to put on our detective hats and crack this case wide open.
Oh, you know that feeling, right? You're just flying through the science section, feeling good, and bam! You hit a question that's talking about Figure 1 and Table 2. It feels like you're trying to read two different maps at once, and honestly, it's confusing. And yet, it's kind of designed to trip you up.
But here's the thing. What if I told you there's a secret to handling this? A method. The key is to shift your mindset. Stop thinking like a stressed-out test taker and start thinking like a detective. Piecing together clues. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to turn that confusion into your secret weapon.
So, let's open up this case file. What's our mission? It's simple. Master these multiple chart questions. We're going to take what looks like a total mess of data and turn it into a super clear solution.
So, what the ACT is really testing you on here is a skill called synthesizing information. Yeah, it sounds a little fancy, but all it means is piecing stuff together to see the big picture. It's literally what detectives do, right? They find a footprint over here, a witness statement over there, and they combine it all to figure out the whole story. That's what we're doing with these charts.
Okay, so every great detective has a solid method, a system. And from now on, you're going to have one too. Let's walk through the exact step-by-step strategy, our detective's method, for cracking any of these questions.
It's a really simple four-step process. First, survey the scene. Second, find the common clue. Third, connect the evidence. And fourth, check the details. Simple as that. Let's break them down.
All right, step 1, survey the scene. And listen, this is crucial. Before you even think about looking at the numbers or the dots on the graph, you've got to survey the scene. What does that mean? It means read the title, read the x-axis label, read the y-axis label for both charts. Just ask yourself, what is this chart even measuring? Maybe one is temperature over time and the other is reaction rate at different temperatures. You have to know what you're looking at first.
Okay, now for what is maybe the most important step of all. Every single one of these puzzles has a key, a link. You have to find the common clue. This is just the one variable, the one piece of information that shows up in both charts. So in that example, right, chart 1 has temperature and time. Chart 2 has temperature and reaction rate. What's the common clue? Temperature. That's your link.
I'm telling you, do not forget this. This common variable, it's everything. Think of it like a bridge. It's the only thing that lets you walk from the information on chart 1 over to the information on chart 2. So what's the takeaway? Find that link before you do anything else.
So once you've got that bridge, you can start to connect the evidence. Let's say chart 1 shows you that as time goes up, temperature also goes up. Then you look at chart 2, and it shows that as temperature goes up, the reaction rate also goes up. See what you can do now? You can combine them. You now know that as time increases, the reaction rate increases. You've just built one story out of two separate charts.
And finally, step 4. A good detective always checks the details. This is where the test makers love to set little traps for you. You got to look at the units. Is one chart in minutes, but the other one's in seconds? Are the scales on the axis completely different? Just taking a second to check this stuff can save you from a really simple but costly mistake.
And speaking of traps, a smart detective doesn't just have a method, they know what tricks to look out for. So let's quickly run through the most common mistakes people make so you can just sidestep them completely. Honestly, just knowing about them is half the battle. So, what are the biggest traps? Well, totally ignoring the units and scales is a big one, or trying to compare two things that aren't actually related. But the biggest one? The most common trap of all? It's jumping straight into the data before finding that common variable. Remember, your first move is always to find that link. All right, we've covered a lot, so let's just boil this all down into one simple formula. Think of it as your ultimate tool for any of these questions. So here it is, the whole process right there. You've got chart 1 plus chart 2. Your job, find that common variable. Use it to combine the trends, and from there, you can reach your conclusion. That's it. That's the formula. It works every single time. Okay, detective. Time for your final briefing. Let's get your toolkit packed and ready so you can solve any case the ACT decides to throw your way. So, here's what's in your toolkit. Number 1, read the titles and axes first, always. Number 2, find the link, that common variable. Number 3, practice combining trends. It really does get easier. And finally, and maybe most importantly, when you see two charts, don't panic. Just take a breath and focus on what they share.
And that's it. You've got it. You're not just a test taker anymore, you're a full-on data detective. You've got the method, you know the traps to avoid, you have your toolkit all ready to go. So the only question left is, what case are you going to crack first?